السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هنتكلم على آخر جزء من constituent of volatile oil مع الفينول and phenolic ethers. For the phenolic constituent of volatile oil, they could be either natural as eugenol, thymol and carvacrol, or due to artifact or artificial factor as destruction of some phenol and cresol constituents during distillation. According to the number of hydroxyl group on the phenyl ring or oxygenated substituent on the phenyl ring, we have monohydric phenol as thymol and anethol, dihydric as eugenol, safrole, trihydric as myrcene, and tetrahydric as apiol. General characters of phenol and phenolic ethers: they may be liquid or crystalline stearoptene with strong aromatic odor. As before, we know that the stearoptene is the oxygenated constituent of volatile oil. Phenol also can be brominated with bromine to produce crystalline derivatives, which are useful for their identification. Phenol react with ferric chlorides to give highly colored compounds and react with caustic alkaline reagent to give water-soluble phenate. But phenolic ether doesn't react with ferric chloride nor form sodium phenate. Phenol only react with acid anhydride as acetic anhydride or phthalic anhydride in presence of organic base as pyridine. Phenolic ether can give corresponding phenols by treatment with hydrogen bromide or hydrogen iodide. So the phenolic ether converted into the corresponding phenol on addition of hydrogen bromide or hydrogen iodide. Isolation of phenol usually through cooling of the oil rich in phenol at low temperature, where phenolic constituents are separated as crystal, or through distillation of the oil, taking the fraction rich in phenol and subjected to cooling to low temperature, or by treatment with sodium or potassium hydroxide dilute aqueous solution to form water-soluble phenate, taking or separating the aqueous alkaline layer containing the phenate and treated with dilute acid, where phenols are regenerated and purified by distillation followed by cooling. To determine the amounts of phenol in volatile oil, the oil is treated with sodium hydroxide to form water-soluble phenate, leaving the non-phenolic part as an oily layer, which can be measured through graduated neck of cassia flask and by applying the equation volume of oil taken minus volume of oily layer after addition of sodium hydroxide, extracting the phenol into water-soluble phenate, divided by volume of oil taken and multiplied by 100. First example of phenol is thymol. It exists in herbaceous plants such as thyme and usually accompanied by carvacrol. This is the structure of thymol. If you remember, this could be similar to menthol, but except the aromatization in the ring. Thymol isolated by fractional distillation followed by crystallization at low temperature, or through extraction with 5% potassium hydroxide followed by addition of dilute acid to the aqueous layer, where thymol separate, purified by steam distillation. Also, thymol can be prepared synthetically from menthol by treatment with bromine in presence of quinoline, or pepritone by addition of ferric chloride, and from reaction of metacresol with isopropyl alcohol. Thymol can be identified by addition or dissolution of few crystals of thymol in 1 ml of glacial acetic acid and few drops of sulfuric acid and 1 drop of nitric acid. Bluish green color is obtained. On fusion of phthalic anhydride with thymol crystal, producing a strong violet red color solution in dilute alkaline and blue color in dilute acid. This reaction or the formed constituent known as thymol phthalein. That is similar to phenolphthalein as it changes its color and acid and alkaline medium. Also the solution of thymol in sulfuric acid, producing thymol sulfonic acid, which produce violet color with ferric chloride. Alcoholic solution of thymol crystal doesn't show any color, while on presence of carvacrol or carvacrol in alcoholic solution produce green color. This test can be used to examine purity of thymol if it's alone or if it is combined with carvacrol. Thymol have the following activity. It has local anesthetic effect in tooth pain, used as disinfectant and antibacterial, so used in mouth wash and gargles, used in preparation of synthetic menthol. Some preparation of thymol has antifungal activity. Next phenolic constituent is anethol, or known as anise camphor. Anethol present in umbelliferous fruits such as anise and fennel. Structure of anethol: isolated by fractional distillation followed by crystallization at low temperature, or the oil containing high percent of anethol isolated, from which anethol isolated by cooling. Also, anethol can be synthetically prepared from anisole by reaction with propionaldehyde in presence of hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, and treatment with pyridine. Anethol or purified anethol, when subjected to heat or oxygen or light, dimerize into compound known as para-para-prime dimethoxystilbene or photoanethol. This compound similar to stilbene in having estrogenic activity. So anethol should be stored in cold, dark place. Anethol identified by oxidation with potassium chromate into anisaldehyd. On further oxidation, it is oxidized into anisic acid, which separate as needle crystal. Anethol used in common cold preparation such as lozenges for pharyngitis. Also, it has urine tract disinfectant effect with other constituent of volatile oil, and used in renal calculi or complaints from renal calculi as antiseptic. Used as flavoring agent for food and beverage, also as flavoring and antiseptic agent in mouth wash and gargle. This is lozenges of strepsil containing anethol and combination with pinene campheine in renal problems. Dihydric phenols, example is eugenol, ether OCH3, and phenolic OH. Eugenol isolated from plants belong to family Myrtaceae and occur as such as clove, and some plants such as GM plant containing glycoside of eugenol, which is known as gene. Isolation by treatment with 5% potassium hydroxide, separating the alkaline layer. To the alkaline layer, add dilute acid where eugenol is separated, purified by steam distillation. In alkaline medium, eugenol is converted into isoeugenol by shift of the double bond from carbon 2 and 3 into carbon 1 and 2 of the substituent propionyl. Eugenol can be identified by addition of 2% alcoholic solution of ferric chloride, which produce blue color. On addition of saturated aqueous solution of ferric chloride, grayish yellow turbidity is obtained. Addition of drops of 3% sodium hydroxide saturated with sodium bromide to oil rich in eugenol or eugenol produce needle crystal which aggregate into rosette crystal. From eugenol we can prepare vanillin by treatment of eugenol with sodium hydroxide, which is converted into isoeugenol, followed by acetylation to protect the hydroxyl group, and oxidation of the side chain into aldehyde, followed by treatment with hydrochloric acid to regenerate the hydroxyl group, which is final compound is vanillin. Eugenol used in many pharmaceutical preparation as flavoring agent, and also flavoring agent in some food preparations. Eugenol is one of the components of the corrective paste or dental filling material, usually associated with zinc oxide. Eugenol has local anesthetic activity in tooth pain, also used in the manufacture of vanillin of high quality. Also, dihydric phenol is Safrole, which is phenolic ether. To oxygen substituent. It represents about 80% of sassafras oil, isolated from sassafras oil by freezing to -10, where safrole crystals are separated. Safrole, when treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, produce a red color, which is test used for its identification. Safrole used as carminative and flavoring agent, used in manufacturing of heliotropin and pesticide industry. Safrole also has apoptotic effect on oral cancer cells, but Safrole was found to induce minor carcinogenic effect on rats, so its use and its content is under strict regulation. The myristicin is trihydric phenol, 2 oxygen, 3. Myristicin exists in the oil of nutmeg and mace, isolated by fractional distillation followed by cooling. Myristicin used to control diarrhea associated with certain intestinal tumors. Also, myristicin has hallucinogenic effect. Thank you and good luck.